So, welcome to the Be the Spark Movement December meeting. And today's meeting is about presence, being present in a world where distractions and chaos are very much prevalent, and just finding a place to be and be with the people that mean the most to you and be present in the moment. And before we were recording, Jeffrey gave me a definition of presence, and I would like you to share that again, Jeffrey.
Okay, okay. Yeah, I was on. Good morning, everybody. I went through the phone and was trying to find a good definition for presence. And all of the ones it was a bunch of them, but none of them really moved me because it was like what I was expecting to hear. But this one, I don't know if a monk said it, when I found it, there were pictures of monks. So I don't know where it comes from. So I can't take credit for it, but it moved me. It's really short and sweet. It says, presence is moving the way that love asks you to move, and whatever that means for each of us. But I like that. So, love for self, love for humanity, whatever that means to you. But I just think that was really profound. So,
Yeah, I really love that definition. So, let's go ahead and introduce Vincent if he has a moment here to join us. And looks
Hey,
like he's on a journey. So, Vincent, we're glad to have you here. If you'll introduce yourself.
I'm Vincent Sear, from Nashville, Tennessee. I'm the nephew of Jeffrey Martin, and growing up, he was my escape when we were, when we were together. I couldn't. Anytime I was with him, it was a great time. And, that's who I am, Vincent, being Vincent Sear.
So nice to have you. Anybody
uh,
else want to introduce yourself? I'll let Jeffrey go.
okay, yeah, Jeffrey Martin. So happy to see. Excuse me. I was telling Carrie that I reached out to quite a few people. Um, so happy to see my nephew on here. It just really touches me. Uh, because I saw in him, I shouldn't say favorites. That's not fair to my other nieces and nephew. But for some reason, our lives paralleled. You know, what he went through as a kid, I kind of went through as a kid in certain ways. And so I don't know, we just have always been kind of attached. So it's really good to see him. He's doing wonderful. He's a jujitsu guy. I can no longer beat him up. You know, he'll twist me up. So, but he's really doing well with that. He's always like martial arts, and that's weird. I was like that. I'm still like that. I love martial arts, but I'm just not as good at it as he is anymore. So, but it's good to see him. I'm so happy that he's here. So I hope he gets something out of this. It really touches my heart that he's here.
Well, we're glad to have him. As as per usual, everybody who joins us is usually just heart-centered and full of love and compassion, and we're glad to have everybody here. Zachary, you want to introduce yourself?
Hey, my name is Zach Myers. I'm Carrie's son. Uh, just been enjoying life, trying to enjoy the holiday season, and it's been really cold. And
Mm.
I've been doing some line dancing and country swing dancing recently, and really enjoying that. And I totally recommend it. If I was never much of a dancer or thought I'd be into it, but once I tried it, just proving that we try new things is totally worth it. So
So true.
yeah,
Yeah, so
that's
true.
Very true. I'm glad you're here too, as always. All right, Neil.
Yes, I'm Neil Myers, married to Carrie and somewhat related to Zach, I think somehow, not sure some days. But no, happy to be here as always. Great to see Jeffrey and Vincent. Thanks for joining us. I do have a question for Vincent if he doesn't mind. I want to know if he's made it to the In and Out yet. I think they opened three in that area, the In
Oh,
and Out burgers.
absolutely, it's near Costco. So to ease the pain from spend spending all the money at Costco. We'll normally stop at In and Out.
Yeah. Was it pretty crazy busy?
Uh, Not like it. They just opened one in Nashville, Tennessee, and I heard the line was pretty crazy. Yeah, the line's always crazy at In and Out, but
Yeah.
but I haven't experienced to it to the levels where we were waiting, at for hours. But yeah, the lines can get crazy, but normally with the drive-through. Normally, it's just with the drive-through. The lines are nuts. I don't understand it. You can just get out of your car, even in Nashville. My buddy said folks are lined up at the grand opening last week. They were lined up at 2 a.m. in the morning. Said, folks are waiting for the average wait, I think 8 to 12 hours. He said he did 2 hours. I think in the parking.
That's pretty crazy. So yeah, I figured it
That
was busy.
Yeah,
that
yeah,
sounds
busy,
crazy.
busy sometimes.
Yeah, cool. Okay, well, that's my off-topic question. Sorry.
No, that's okay. That's okay. And most everybody knows who I am. I'm Carrie Myers. I belong to, these are two of my family members, but I also claim Jeffrey as our family member also. And Jimmy, if he'll pop in here shortly, I just texted him and hopefully he'll be here. And anybody else who's able to join, I see everybody as family and friends and just blessed to have good people in my life. Um, and to me, presence is just learning. It's a lot of things, but the one that I think of most right now is that listening, like learning to listen and not to respond, but to just hear whatever who the person that you're with is saying, and not always like trying to interject or share your story, even though it is important to share our stories, but just like being in that moment to where we can really hear the people that we're with, and it's quite a practice. So that's an important part of presence for me.
Mhm. Yeah, definitely. I think a lot of times, yeah, you hit it right on the head. A lot of times, if we're in conversations, we're thinking about what our reply is going to be instead of actually listening to, especially if it's something that we don't agree with. We're thinking about how we're going to rebut this instead
Yeah.
of like really listening. So yeah, I completely agree with you. I do that a lot, so I know I'm guilty of that. I'm trying to interject before the person has finished. So yeah, being present and listening, um, can move our conversations forward, I guess.
Yeah. Well, and as a yoga instructor, I try to teach presence too, like, you know, and the example is that I use, one of the examples I use is like pay attention to your feet.
Mm.
Like bring your attention, feel your feet because our feet do so much for us and we just take them for granted. So feel your toes and feel the bottoms of your feet and feel how they move and like and your entire body too, like where there are pains, where there are places that need to be stretched, where there are places that feel really great or that need a little love. And
Mhm.
so that internal presence is a huge factor too.
That's so true. And we were talking about martial arts. I had a kickboxing sensei who said, talking about the feet, and he was saying we lotion our bodies and we put socks on our feet. And we pay very little attention to our feet. And it's so true. And they, like you said, they do so much for us every single day. Um, and I thought that was interesting. Yeah.
Yeah. It's the little things.
Hmm. Definitely.
Zachary, you look like you have something to say.
As someone, I just it's what's going on in my life right now. So, the dancing, you don't pay attention to your feet until they hurt a lot. And so, yeah, that's pay attention to your feet. That's good. That's good advice. I wish I would have heard it earlier.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. We're like just running around or we're shopping or we're doing this and we're doing that. And then we sit down and you're like, ow,
Yeah,
Yeah.
we forget to be easy on ourselves.
Yeah. And I like the line dance. Line dancing is a lot of fun. I'm not good at it, but I've done it a few times. It's a lot of fun. That makes you more present in the moment for sure, so you can keep up with those steps. So it's a great thing. I think dance in general is a really good release to kind of forget about the problems of the world and just enjoy the moment that you're in.
yeah.
Mm,
When you're hearing the music and you're not, you know, when you know the dance well enough to where you're not thinking about the steps, you're just reacting to the music and the notes and the tempo. Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But doesn't that relate to life in general, right?
Yeah.
Shouldn't that be how it is? Like full, like all of your senses working together. Like, what do you see? What do you hear? Is there a taste? Is there a feel? Um,
Mhm.
here's hear, feel, taste, see, what touch.
Touch. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Like have all your senses activated is a way of really being present.
Mm-hmm. I was watching I like boxing. That's probably the only sport that I really watch. But anyway, I was watching the like circus of Jake Paul. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Jake Paul. Um, but yeah, he's like a YouTuber who has made millions of dollars, like challenging like professional boxers or professional fighters to fight. So last night they had a big thing with him and a boxer, and I don't know, my mind is on like the fight was going on, but I'm looking at the audience and these people are like going nuts in this. I'm like, wow, if we paid attention to our that what was really important, I don't know. But it just seems like we're so distracted by things outside of our control sometimes.
Mm.
I mean, it was fun. It was fun. It was entertainment, I guess. But I just thinking all these, people getting upset or happy about something that really means nothing in the scheme of life. But we're so distracted by that kind of thing. I don't know.
Yeah, that enthusiasm
Hmm.
for everything that
Yeah.
you would have for rooting on somebody to beat the tar out of somebody else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah. Is
interesting.
that the one you watched last night, Neil?
I was one of those people that was it did it was, and like you said, Jeffrey, it's a pure spectacle.
Yeah.
Um, maybe it's a release for some people.
Yeah. Yeah.
Kind of get outside of their own head, get outside of their own life, maybe. But
Yeah.
it's definitely a spectacle. You think about the amount of money that was paid to those people and to do all
Uh,
that stuff. That money could do so much good to homeless people or schools or anything. But I guess that's capitalism.
yeah.
I don't know how you change that. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
but
And
yeah,
really smart guy.
yeah,
He's really a smart. He really is. I have to commend him on that. He's like took this YouTube thing and has made himself,
mhm,
and not only himself, he's made other people millionaires. I
yeah,
think the fight, like the two people involved, him and Anthony Joshua made
Joshua.
$92 million a piece, I think.
Yeah,
92 million. I'm like, oh my God. Whew,
Re
what a distraction. Wow. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. But you hear him talk before and after the fights, and he's seems very religious and talks about helping kids and the next
Mm,
generation. So it sounds like he does do give
that's
back a
smart.
lot in a lot of
Yeah.
different ways. So
Yeah. He's a
I
smart
mean,
businessman, I tell you.
yeah, just from when I first started kind of hearing about it, I thought he was just a punk, but he's really not.
Yeah.
I think that's just part of his persona. He does
Yeah.
on TV. But yeah, he seems very intelligent. He's done very well for himself.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely.
well, and I think I was just thinking, well, how present has he been on YouTube or when he's training or when he's intentional about who he's going to fight? Like
Hmm.
he has to be really present in that time to know what he wants to get out of his body and his mind and his business and his
Hmm.
intentions. So
Yeah,
that's another lesson to think about in presence is that when we are present, we accomplish so much more.
That's true.
yeah,
That's true. And
Yeah.
it takes anybody that's gotten in a ring, even if you're not a professional fighter, it takes a certain kind of person to get in that ring. It really does. Win or lose, you just not everybody is built to get in that ring and have somebody throwing punches at them. So yeah, you do have to be present. You have to know what your limitations are, what your boundaries are, and what you can and cannot do. So yeah, your mind can't be all over the place, I'll tell you.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. And you're also anticipating what the other guy is going to do so you can
Hmm. Yeah,
move out of the way.
yeah,
yeah.
definitely.
Especially when the other guy's 6 inches taller and 30, 40 pounds heavier, pure muscle.
Exactly. Yeah, yeah, definitely.
It's crazy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Wow, who would have thought we'd get such a great lesson from a boxing match? I
Yeah,
mean,
it's something in life, I guess.
yeah.
So,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I mean, there's lessons to learn no matter what we're doing or
Hmm.
if we want to find it.
Exactly. And everybody, I've said this a lot of times, everybody knows something. Everybody. If they live long enough, they know something, some more than others, but everybody, you can learn from anybody. And that's kind of how I
Absolutely.
look at people, that everybody knows something that I don't know. So, when we talk to each other, we're talking to teachers, fellow teachers. So,
Yeah,
you can learn
absolutely.
from anybody. Yeah.
Yeah.
mm, very, very
Well,
true.
now that there's a little pause break, I hate to leave you guys, but I hope it's all right to wish you guys well on the rest of your day, and you know, bid you farewell.
So good to
Thanks
see you,
for
Thanks
nephew.
for
Thank
joining
you for
us.
stopping by. Love
We
you.
look forward to
Absolutely.
seeing you next month.
Nice to meet
Hey,
you.
every each month, huh?
Yeah,
Yes.
once a month. Once a month.
Okay, very nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh,
So nice to meet
hey,
you.
Yeah.
you too.
Have,
God
Have a
have
bless.
a
double double for
Christmas.
us.
I have a double double. Okay, maybe so. One of these days. I gotta. I'm
Take
also an
care.
aspiring chef. I'm in culinary school, so it's every once in a while it's nice to not have to be in the kitchen and preparing my own stuff and to stop. So maybe in and out will be my next cheat day, and
Yeah.
You'll have to let Neil know how it is.
I'll do a double double. Have a good one. Thank you guys.
All right.
Bye,
All right,
Take
Vincent.
nephew.
care.
Love you. Take care of yourself.
All right. Bye.
So thank you, Jeffrey, for inviting him. He seems like a
Yeah.
great guy. So
Yeah.
if he comes back, um,
Yeah.
January's conversation is about bullying.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So
Yeah.
there'll be lots to talk about that.
He has had, he's overcome some things, big things. Just a beautiful soul. Beautiful soul. Had to overcome some things like we all do. Um, Yeah, but I'm so glad to see him doing well. Culinary school. He's winning first and second prizes at jujitsu. So he's doing the things that are his passions, and they're keeping him on the straight and narrow. If there's
Yeah.
such thing as a straight and narrow, it's keeping him there. So that's good.
Well, I think he set a good example.
Hmm. I try. I don't know.
Uh, so switching gears a little bit back to presence. I think one thing that because there's so much anxiety in our I guess our entire world is that we all overthink
Mm.
and we live on a loop sometimes in our brain. And I am infamous for doing this, and it's always at 3 o'clock in the morning or before I'm trying to go to sleep or something like that. And we live in that anticipation of what the future might hold, or a conversation that we might need to have, or what somebody else may be doing or planning, or how it's going to affect us. And um, I just like, what are some suggestions that y'all have, and even the audience, if you're watching the recording, to cut that off,
Mm.
or just to bring yourself back to that present moment?
Me personally, hopefully I won't sound crazy to anybody who's listening to this. I constantly talk to myself, not out loud, but I'm constantly trying to keep myself, especially if I wake up. I'm like you, Carrie. I'll wake up in the middle of the night, have these ideas, and and all over the place, and I'll just focus on maybe just one, or focus on, I need rest, so let me focus on rest and not think of anything that tries to come in. I just kind of kick it out. But I constantly have to talk to myself to keep, yeah. I don't know if it helps all the time, but most of the time it kind of gets me back on. So I just kind of kick the stuff, and that's difficult if your mind is busy with things, it's hard to focus on just one thing or the thing that you need to be focused on instead of all these other things that are happening. So I constantly talk to myself. I really do. So I guess I constantly meditate, my own version of meditation.
Oh, that's good. Yeah. I mean, that's always a go-to thing, right? Clear the mind and breathe. And
Yeah.
yeah, meditation is definitely a go-to.
Yeah.
Of course, you know what I'm going to say, and Jeffrey probably say the same thing. Journaling, like write
Right.
it down, get it out of your head. And I really should get up more often and just write it down and then go back to bed.
Mhm.
So journaling is always one of my go-tos.
Yeah.
I guess exercise is
Hmm.
I clear my head, or
Yeah.
some physical activity. It could be work or flipping a log or flipping a tire or something like that. That's what I've been going to help clear my mind.
Mm.
Excellent advice too. I
Yeah.
should do that more
Oh, yeah.
often.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah. I mean, I think for me, it's just doing anything to take my mind off it. Could be playing some stupid game on my phone or, watching some guys on TV try to find gold in a waterfall or just anything.
Mhm.
I think things like that kind of help me, focus my attention on something else. I don't really dig deep into my brain. I'm not really sure where it is anyway. So I try to, I look at external things to help me take my mind off stuff.
Mm.
Yeah. So you use distraction to bring yourself back into the present. Yeah.
It's not hard for me for some reason. It was natural.
Mm.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean like it's shifting gears, right?
Mm.
Mhm.
Like you're going down this crazy path of deep thought and what ifs and maybe I shoulds and if you can be like, "Oh, squirrel," and focus over there,
Mm.
then
Yeah.
that's yeah.
And I tend to, just being honest, I tend to doubt myself a lot too. And so, um, when I get, when that comes in, I try to push it away, but I do. I tend to, uh, uh, based on just past stuff, if I'm not getting something, I'm really, really, really hard on myself, really, really hard on myself. And so I have to have those conversations. Maybe I'll get to the point where I won't have to have the but right now, in my life right now, I still have to have those conversations with myself because I'll get, if I'm trying to fix something or trying to do something electrical, whatever it is, I'll be really hard on myself and I'll just like, okay, I'm not going to do it. And so I have to really talk myself into staying with it, sticking with it, not doubting myself, and knowing that I'm going to figure this thing out. So I have to have those conversations all the time. I'm comfortable with writing, reading, exercise, certain things I really, really like. So I don't have to focus on those things. But things
Mhm.
that I'm not comfortable with out of my comfort zone, I tend to doubt what I can do in those places where I'm not comfortable. So I have to constantly have these conversations. And I'm not going down the street talking to myself, but in my mind is saying, okay, slow your heart rate down, stop thinking negative, get it out. You can do it. I have those conversations all the time. I really do. Hopefully that doesn't lead to dementia or anything because I might be arrested. But I just being honest, I do. When I doubt myself, I have these conversations to keep myself back on the path. So,
Yeah,
No,
but
I
you
mean
you you've,
I like
you've
that.
you've figured out a way of doing that for yourself, and that's a lot of people haven't dug deep enough to figure something like that out. So it's pretty admirable, to be honest with you.
mhm.
Yeah. I mean, to me, I see it as when we get into that negative spiral, we're bringing ourselves down, we're lowering our vibration.
Mhm.
And if we can talk ourselves into raising our own vibration and
Yeah,
releasing that self-doubt, then that's got to be a positive thing.
yeah.
Mhm.
Oh,
And you never know how people don't see me that way. They see me because I'm always, I'm chipper and they think I'm really confident and blah. But I said, no, not all the time. I'm having these conversations. You don't hear the conversation, so you just see the external and think, oh, he's got it all together. No, I don't. I'm having these conversations constantly when it's in an environment where I'm not comfortable,
yeah.
or not, it's out of my comfort range, So, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's
Makes
just kind
sense.
of human condition.
Mm-hmm.
But I think when we self-doubt, it allows us to grow, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because
Yeah.
then you're like, am I going to learn it and figure it
Mm-hmm.
out so I can not self-doubt?
Right.
Or am I going to sit in that and just give up? I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah.
it's an
Right.
opportunity.
It's so true.
Yeah.
Yeah, it forces you to yeah, you have to be present. And it forces you to just, hey, I got to get out of this comfort zone. Comfort zone isn't getting me where I need to be. It's not fixing anything. So I
Right.
got beyond that to fix whatever this problem or this um consequence is. I have to get out of my comfort zone. So, Yeah, those
Yeah.
conversations, being present in those conversations is a must for me.
Yeah. Well, and that way you expand your comfort zone, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because
Mm-hmm.
you don't just step out of it and then jump right back in. You're
Right,
like,
right,
oh,
right.
well,
That's a good
well, now
point.
my comfort zone includes this,
Mm-hmm.
whatever it is.
So true.
Yeah.
I'll give you guys an example. I like trees. It's gonna sound weird, but I like trees. So after I exercise and jump rope and stuff, I always take a walk. It's like a half a mile. I don't walk very far. I'd rather walk than run, so I'll walk. And as I'm going along, I touch plants. I just think they have energy. So, but trees are my favorite. But there's this one tree on this particular street that I always go down on when I'm getting close to home, and it's huge. I'm like, I hope they never cut that tree. It's probably if that family has been there for generations, that tree was probably started 100 years ago, probably over 100 years ago. But anyway, it's a huge tree, and uh, when it's in full bloom, I can just kind of reach up. I'm 6'2", so I can kind of reach up and touch the flower, the leaves. But when it's fall like this, now the leaves are falling off. So I have to jump higher to touch it because I really want to touch a leaf, right? And so I jumped up to touch a leaf because. And so all of a sudden, childhood memories because I used to be afraid of heights. I'm really afraid of heights. But my stepfather would push me on the swing to a point where I'd be like just terrorized. And when I jumped up and that came back to me. I'm like, wow, I thought I had forgotten all about that
Hmm.
fear. And so when I come down, I'm continuing my walk. I'm like, oh, I can't live in that. I didn't even know that fear was still there. And I had to kind of talk myself, no, you're not going to be afraid of blah, blah, blah. That happened when you were 6 years old or 8 years old. Why are you letting that affect you? So these conversations help me when something jumps in there that from the past, these conversations help me kind of get it out of there. Because I didn't even know that was still there. I really didn't. I don't know if that makes sense, but that's
It
um,
does.
yeah.
But if you hadn't been present in that moment, it wouldn't have landed with you that that was still
Still there. Yeah. Yeah.
lying.
So true. It
Yeah.
surprised me. Like, wow, that fear just went through me. I'm like I was 6 years old again. It was really strange. Really strange.
It's pretty powerful.
Yeah.
I think it also brings in the fact that, and this is one thing that I do, and I'll use an example from probably back the 1st of November. I had a really bad week. Like it just seemed like everything was just going wrong. And I went and I found, well, I went to the botanical gardens
Hmm.
and they were cutting trees. I'm like, I came here for peace and quiet, and there's the chainsaws, and I hate chainsaws. Like that's a phobia of mine. Like I'm terrified of chainsaws. But I moved on down the creek a little bit, and then I was able to take my shoes off and like connect with nature. I put my feet in the water and listened to the birds and listened to the water and felt the breeze and meditated. And so a lot of ways that I bring myself back to being present is finding that place in nature
Hmm.
and just, appreciating the sun on my face and the birds singing and just being outside and breathing fresh air. It really helps me come back into like a
Hmm.
zen spot.
Yeah. And the blessings in it.
Hmm.
Just being able to I don't know why I watch these things, but I watch like prison stories. I don't know why, but I'll watch and just listen to how people ended up there and what they're doing and they got, these guys are doing life. I'm like, how do you do life? Oh my God. But anyway, but then I reflect, I come home or I'm out at work or whatever and I'm complaining about being at work, but I'm outside. And there's some people they don't get to go outside, or they get to go outside for like 1 hour a day. So that's all the sun they can get is 1 hour a day, and then they're in this room, and they're gonna be like that for life. I'm like, whoa, I
Yeah.
should really be present and be thankful that I am not in that. I just can't even imagine. And then not only they're in that room, but then they have to watch what they do and how they speak to people and can't step on somebody's foot because it can get you killed. The smallest things become major in those situations. I'm like, man, we are so blessed to just be able to go outside and be frustrated, but at least go outside and enjoy something. So
Yeah.
just counting my blessings too.
I can't imagine being imprisoned.
Mm. Oh my God.
Mhm.
I have no idea why I watch it, but I watch them. I don't know why. Just seeing how these people figure out how to get through. I'd have to definitely, I'm sure they do a whole lot of self-talk. They have to, you
Yeah.
have to, or you're going to go crazy. Um, but yeah, I don't,
Yeah, my sanity would not last in a prison.
yeah, it's
Gosh.
turns you into an animal.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Turns you into an
be
animal.
awful.
Yeah, it really, yeah. It's, it's better to, I was telling, because growing up, I had kind of not a bad temper, but I just didn't let anybody walk over me. And I'm thinking, my mindset now is if there's a problem, I'm just going to walk away, because it can lead to that. If you're not present and looking at the whole picture, it can, you hit somebody and they fall back and hit their head. You're not trying to kill them, but they
No,
hit their head and here you are, you know, um, yeah, and where you could have been avoided. I kind of think like that, just I avoid problems. I avoid problems.
Yeah. I've been known to be confrontational,
Mhm.
but I've really tried to.
Neil said, "Yeah, just a little bit."
Hey, at least I'm honest, right? But I've really been trying to be more like reel it back in and ask myself, is this worth it for
Is it
one?
worth it? Right,
Is it
exactly.
worth it? Is
Yeah.
it worth arguing with somebody?
Hmm.
Um, and then try to go from there.
Yeah.
hmm,
Shut
good.
up. No. I'm
This
kidding.
is recorded, Joe.
Neil's gonna go back through the cord and he's gonna record this little spot right here. You can like, see what you said?
Yeah. Yeah.
Here's your
I'll figure out some way to make that phrase my ringtone or something for
All right. I gotta be careful what I say on these recordings.
her. Yep,
Yeah.
we are listening.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it does help me hold myself
Yeah,
accountable.
no,
Hmm.
and you have. I'm just giving you a hard time.
I know.
Yeah.
I know. Zachary's thinking deep thought over there, or maybe
Or he's looking at TV.
he was frozen.
Anybody, I think one of his hands is bigger than the other.
It
Oh,
looks like it, doesn't
he got a little bitty head.
Yes, I do.
Yeah,
Yeah, whose fault is that? Let's talk about that.
that way. Oh, nope, yeah, that way on my screen.
it?
Zachary, what led you to line dancing? What any particular moment where you say, "Oh, I'm gonna just try it." What made you try it?
So I went to a bar with a girl, and they were doing some like country swing, and
Oh,
I was like, "That looks like a lot of fun. You want to try it with me?" And she said no, and that was fine. Uh,
mm.
then I just like looked around to try to find places, and that was about a year and a half ago.
Oh, really? Oh,
Mhm.
Having a lot of fun since. So
oh, that's great.
yeah,
Yeah.
Great.
Do some women.
yeah, meet some women, made a lot of friends.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Uh,
Cool.
good people.
you know, just yeah. Uh, I'm glad I did it, and wish I did earlier.
Hmm. That's
Yeah,
great.
I think it's pretty amazing. You're doing something I probably never could have done.
Yeah,
So pretty cool.
that's a
Yeah.
great thing. It's good to have those outlets that you really enjoy,
So,
It really
Yeah.
is. It's a great thing.
Yeah, and he's teaching me.
That's great.
Yeah, a little
well,
bit.
Yeah,
practice
we
partner.
got
Yeah,
in a boxing match last night.
yeah, yeah. So there was a new girl, and I was teaching her some moves, and the we were doing a dip, and she's supposed to reach her arm around my shoulder to grab my shoulder for a dip, and she,
Mhm.
she hit me in the mouth, and
Oh,
uh, actually cut her finger with my tooth, and
oh,
there's
wow.
a little bit of a mark on the inside of my mouth. It's nothing serious, but it was just funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, but she used to like bodybuild, and like so she if she hit me, she could have really hard. So I'm glad accident.
Yeah.
It's a good story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, yeah, back to mom's confrontationalness. Let's go back to that.
Uh-oh.
Lack of.
Yeah.
What you got to say about that?
Oh, nothing. I was just trying to change the subject.
Oh. It's the Scorpio in me, the middle child, the Larry Jordan. I admit it. Like,
Mhm.
you know,
Yeah.
I just, if I got something to say, I want to be heard.
Hmm. Yeah.
Mhm.
Nothing wrong with that.
Right.
And by you doing that, it inspires other young girls to, speak their piece. I think women a lot of times in a lot of societies, not just here, are taught to be quiet, and not make noise. So I think it's good when a woman is not confrontational, but just speaks her mind. It's good because she's not doing it just for herself. She's doing it for young ladies that are watching her also.
Yeah,
Hmm.
absolutely. And learning how to be kind and not confrontational, but not conflict avoidant either.
Hmm.
You know,
Yeah.
it's a process.
Yeah,
Uh,
it is. Something that all human beings can identify with because it's part of being human, you know.
Definitely, definitely. So my screen is frozen. Zachary and Neil are frozen, and they have both have these odd looks on their faces.
Oh, they're not frozen over here with me. Oh, now Neil is.
Well, I'll turn my this video takes up too much bandwidth or whatever.
No, it's weird.
Maybe that'll help some.
Yeah. I
Mhm.
don't know what happened to Jimmy. I texted him and told him
Hmm.
we were on.
Yeah, the time's so different. He may have got tied up into something.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah. I mean, I just talked to him at 2.5 hours ago, but
Mm.
or his computer may not. Well, I know his computer died, and but his internet may not be.
Hmm.
May not be.
And I really thought it was gonna be a lot more people. Because like I told you before we were on air, that I reached out to quite a few, but you know, I was hoping. But I'm so glad my nephew came through. But I thought
Yeah,
a lot of people.
yeah. It was so good to meet him.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we'll figure out how to get more people involved in these conversations.
Hmm.
And we just got to keep on keeping
Yeah.
on and showing them what it's about and how we can come from, sometimes when we land at the beginning of these conversations, we're all like, oh, okay, I just made it, sliding in sideways or whatever. And then by the time we end these conversations, I just always feel a sense of peace and connection and a little bit of love and all the good stuff. So,
Yeah. I think it's good. I think it's healthy. I think it's mentally healthy to have a group or even family, but just a group that you can go and have conversation with because there's so much isolation. We're working, we're doing these things. So it's good to have a group um, to just kind of vent to sometimes or ask questions or learn from. I think that's really healthy mentally. They do.
I agree.
Yeah.
So, go ahead, Neil.
No, I was trying to call the cat. Sorry, but you can
Oh,
leave it.
the visitor. Let's see what Jimmy has to say. Help me. You share with Zoom link. Okay, let me share the Zoom link because let's see if he can jump on with us for a few minutes. Okay. Um, yeah, I think that these conversations allow us to really be present in the moment in time, whenever we're here too,
Hmm.
and focus on one topic and
Yeah,
you know, again, how much more we are alike than different, and that's such a blessing
it is.
to explore in this day and age.
Hmm. Do you all ever I work with kids and well adults too, but mostly with kids during the day. And I'm kind of concerned. I think about like I work with elementary school kids and I don't know, I'm kind of concerned with what our future looks like, to be honest with you, because of the parents, not so much the kids, because of the parents and the lack of parenting that happens so often now. And people say, well, every generation is different. Yeah, it is. But the last, I would say the last like 30 years, 25, 30 years, there's been like a shift with parenting that like they don't hold the kids accountable. um the kids are kind of raising themselves. They feel like it's a sanctuary at school. They feel more comfortable at school than they do at home.
Mhm.
And I'm just seeing that, and it's, like I don't know what the next 20 years is gonna look like. Maybe I won't even be here, but some of us will be here. And man, it's kind of, I don't know I don't know if you interact with kids a lot, but I do. And it's a real concern for me. I know that's not the topic we're on today, but it just came across my mind that yeah, it's a real concern for me what the future is looking like and
No, I'm with
what's
you.
taking up kids' time, like the iPads and kids not learning how to ride bikes at 12 and 13. We knew how to ride bikes at 4 and 5, 3 and 4. And so they don't have that outside time. And that's really concerning me.
Yeah.
And I don't know what they call it, but kids are actually having meltdowns when they're taking their phones away or taking their iPads away. Meltdowns, like tearing up and at school where I work, it's hands off. So you're not really supposed to grab a kid or anything, right? So when a kid has a meltdown, we just stand back and allow this. Well, I don't, but most staff allows the kids to just tear up the room, just throw things, break things, and then once he or she, usually a he, calms down, then somebody comes and takes him out and talks to him. I'm like, oh my God.
Did they make them clean up?
No, one kid, maybe I won't mention any names, but one child that does that quite often, the school will call his mom will come and clean up the room. I don't understand that. I'm like, what sense is that? What is that doing for the kid? But anyway, yeah, what I'm seeing with young people is really, I don't know, really frightening me for the future in the next 20 years. When these kids become adults and
Yeah,
have kids, what is
I
it going to
agree.
look like? It's really scary. It really is scary.
Yeah, I haven't been in the school system this school year, but last year I was at a middle school and these kids, growing up, of course it was 70s and 80s, like kids weren't diagnosed with ADHD
Right.
and everybody stayed in the classroom and there was never those consistent disruptions. We had one child that was disabled that I remember, but like there was respect.
Mm-hmm.
And it wasn't like for me, I don't want to get in trouble at school, but I definitely don't want to get in trouble in school because it's going to be even harsher at home.
Exactly.
And there's no
There's,
standards like
yeah, there's none of that anymore.
parents blame the teachers
Mm-hmm.
for their
Yep.
kids doing wrong.
Yeah. Yeah. We've told parents, your child's doing this, this, and this. And the parents' rebuttal to that is, well, what do you want me to do about it?
Right. Well, what are you
I
doing
have to,
about it? Well,
right.
what'd you do to make them mad?
Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's something. There's no consequences. You have to have consequences. It used to be like you say, hey, we're going to tell your parents. That was enough.
Yeah.
Was enough.
Yeah.
Not anymore. Yeah, tell them. Tell
Yeah.
them. Okay.
I'll
Yeah.
call my mom right now
I'll
and she'll
call them.
come
Yeah,
over
yeah,
here and
tell them.
kick your, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
wow.
The kids are distracted, they're loud, they're disrespectful. And beyond that, they're depressed, they're
Yeah.
bored,
Yeah.
and they're always comparing themselves to what's on Instagram or, you know, um,
I had a
it's a sad situation.
it really is. I think it was my uncle that said this. Boredom is a self-inflicted disease. He never understood. Well, we never said that because we were never bored as kids. But he said
Right.
you have to think that you're bored to be bored because you can always think of something to do. So when you say you're bored, that's self-inflicted. You're like, I'm accepting that I'm bored, so I'm gonna say that I'm bored. But as kids, I can never be bored. But it's a different. I don't know. It's just different. It really is.
Yeah. I used to get battled a lot at school because the option was we either take care of it here or we're going to call your parents.
Mm-hmm.
I was
Mm-hmm.
like, I'll take it here.
Yeah.
I mean, I had a friend that was that way. I mean,
Yeah. No, Neil never got in trouble at school.
Mm.
Yeah, it's,
And
but I know that's
the
off
female,
topic. Just,
yeah, the female teachers pretty much never spanked me. They would get the male teachers because they could hit
yeah.
harder.
Yeah. Yeah. So, wow.
You know what, Jeffrey? I don't think it's off topic, really, because if we don't stay present in this time and do what's right for our kids,
Hmm.
then we're messing up our children.
Yeah,
We're doing them a disservice.
that's true.
So if we're supposed to be teachers and we're more concerned about social media and our cell phones and we're
Mhm.
handing kids worksheets and there's no interaction and there's
Interaction.
no
Right.
expectation and there's no
Right.
you can't like I strived to do well in school, right? Like I
Mhm.
wanted to please my teachers. In
Right.
turn, I wanted to please my parents. And so I think that's I don't know. I don't think it's off topic at all. I think we've got to be really present to everything that is going on now that is separating us from each other and separating our kids from their purpose and their growth and like it's just
Yeah.
it's
And separating them from their childhood because
yeah.
they're running to get out of this childhood. I tell kids all the time, don't run out of your childhood. It does not last that long.
No.
Enjoy it. You don't have any bills, none of that stuff. Enjoy it. Go and play. Fall out of a tree. Build a tree house. Go
Get
on,
dirty.
get dirty.
Mhm.
Scuff your knee. Those are that's healthy. Go play
Yeah.
in the dirt, have a snowman fight. Snowman, build a snowman, have snow fights.
Mhm.
Those things, and kids just aren't. Now, there are exceptions, of course, but at least the schools that I work in, those are exceptions. Very few exceptions. Most of them fall under that, and it's kind of sad to see. It really, I'm not sure where it's going or how it's going to end up, but yeah, that's a really big concern for me.
I agree. And just a quick note of something I listened to this morning is the blue light that's on our phones and tablets and all that stuff. It actually shrinks your mitochondria or it
Mm.
hydrates the mitochondria in your body.
Oh, really? Wow.
I mean, we all know red light therapy is the best thing. Like that's where you get from the sun and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But blue light therapy is what we get infused with every day, being in front of these
Mm.
screens.
Mm.
Jimmy, we're glad you are here.
Yeah.
Yes, guys, I'm really happy to see you today.
Good that you're here.
How are you?
Um, I'm better. I'm improving slowly by slowly. Don't know what well. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, I'm trying to settle in. I was trying to help somebody here, but I'm trying to settle in a few, just 2 minutes. I'll be settling in.
Okay.
How are you guys?
We're good.
Okay. How many are we on the Zoom?
Um, five of us all together. And Jeffrey's
It's a
nephew
pleasure
was
to
on
see.
earlier.
Oh, amazing. It's a pleasure to see you guys.
Good to see you.
Good to
Hey,
see
Jimmy, I
Mhm.
want to ask you
Yes.
this.
Mm.
'Cause we were just I know it's about presence, but I want to ask you because we were on this topic about children. What are you seeing in the young, like grade schoolers, elementary school, that age? Are are you having the concern? Because the concern that I have here in the States with the schools that I work with are the kids are so kind of detached. They don't have they don't act like little kids. They act like kids who are trying to be grown up. They're like missing a lot of their childhood because they're in front of computers all the time, or iPads or phones, and it just seems like, and they don't have consequences. Like it used to be, like when I was a kid, if the teacher said, "Hey, I'm going to call your mom," or "I'm going to call your dad," right away that would straighten me up. Well, now, at least here, that's not, the kids don't have any consequences. So they do whatever they want. They'll tear up a class, they'll hit other students, they'll even hit the teachers. Um, but there's no consequences. And the parents, seem to be like 14-year-olds with children. You know, they're not mature parents, even though they may be 30 or 35 or whatever. But mentally, it seems like they're like stuck at 13 or 14 when they're interacting with their kids. How is it in your country? How are the kids behave? How do they behave there? Are you having those kind of problems, or you don't see that?
Yeah, okay. About that, I've really got your point. That's a vase globally. I would say it's a vase globally, especially when modernization is going to its peak. We're seeing different innovations, society policies, uh, advocacy for different for different beliefs, advocacy for different mindsets. When it comes to children, they were advocating for children. A lot of policies were made by government, by activism groups to influence. Remember, it's not only home, but some of these things come from the top. Then they are influenced into the mainstream. Are you guys getting me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So you will find that when the advocacy came in, whereby now punishing a child was an offense. I will not say punishing as in okay, all its form. You are trying to discipline. Back then, they would ground you. Uh, okay, your parent, your mother or your father was allowed to be beat a little bit if you did something wrong that would really piss them off. Even in the Bible, you see God sometimes is displeased by what we do. It's okay for a parent or for an elder to be pissed off and okay to put in some few measures as in form of punishment. And it will help us to be shaped. Remember, you are young, you are growing up. But then advocacy for children, when it came in, it came with some vices whereby children were given too much freedom without being given responsibility. Unlike
Mm,
a real adult, for us here, we know that when I'm given freedom, I must have a sense of responsibility. Now, the lawmakers, the policymakers have, have that problem. They were putting in policies, but they were not putting in policies that really give the children, most of the kids, that sense of responsibility. So it's all over. Even here, we are struggling with that. Right now,
mm,
a child can question a parent because they have this freedom. They can even sue their parents. Back then, a child was for a community. A child was for a community. Right now, a child is for the nation, you know.
mm.
When
Wow.
when you talk, okay, when you're trying to talk to a kid or you're trying to correct them, you are against the state. You're against the government. It's a child of the government. They have to enjoy. They are being given this freedom of exposure to content. Back then, you would not watch anything. A parent would have the right to question you on what you were watching on TV, on what you were consuming, people you were playing with, what you were
Mhm.
interacting with, which is not the case right now. All over the world, whether there is
Mm. Okay.
technology, whether whether it's a third world country or a middle class country or a first world country, everywhere. Remember now,
Mm.
we are a global village. What's happening in Dubai is happening here in Uganda. What's happening in SA is happening in the US. It's happening in London. So it's a global village.
Okay.
Policies are influenced globally. Now you are seeing that a child, even here in Uganda, even if the economy is still growing, they no longer allow their parents to question them on what they are associating with. That's the content,
Mm.
peer groups, and I believe it's the same case that side. However, back then, a parent would dictate where their children were playing from, what were they interacting with,
Mm.
and they were given even that freedom to go to put in some measures because we society believes that a parent wished the best for their kid.
Mm.
So even here, it's really eating up society.
Mm.
However, in some communities which have not yet grown up, where modernization has not played a very big role, uh, it is not okay. They are still following their culture. They respect their customs. and
Mhm.
children are raised in a way that they respect, because it's from culture that you must
Mm.
greet, and you must greet or kneel down and greet somebody.
Mm.
It's by default, whether you are you having PhD, whether you're having a degree, whether you're young, whether you're, it's a culture that you must greet a stranger, you must greet someone on the road. So in
Mm.
some communities being enforced, it's not enforcement, it's still being practiced.
Mm.
That's the right word to say. But
Oh.
then societies or communities where culture has been erased, uh, we are seeing that these things are now seen as if slavery, yet they were really good, because I greeting Jeffrey, I greeting Kerry, I don't say problem about that.
Mm.
That's human. That's human. So you find that our culture, because I believe every community around the world had culture. Most of these cultures had things in common. Where greeting a person was part of that, uh, greeting or saluting. Then another one, sharing food. Mhm. You find that sharing was part of the culture.
True. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm, Those are the things we have lost right now. And culture was instilled from childhood. There is no way you will preserve culture when the young generation is being left behind. These are things that were instilled in somebody.
Mm.
It was not slavery. It was not putting fear into someone, telling someone that, you know what, it's good to greet a neighbor.
Right.
It's good to act to give a stranger water. You see, even if you look in the Bible, anywhere, those historical books, our
Mm.
culture has been influenced by that, whereby it was really a kind gesture. Even if you is an enemy, when they visit you with a cane mat, you will see that when a person visited with a donkey, even if they are your enemy, you should show kindness to them. When they
Mm.
visit with a horse, they are coming for. So I think the major problem globally, why we are seeing these things, especially in the kids, is because we lost track on culture. At least,
Mm.
okay, I believe some of the cultures were really bad. It was good to have modernization, but some customs we would have reserved them and remained with them for the better of tomorrow.
Yeah. Because I was, yeah, when I was raised, the way I was raised is you make eye contact. Well, you always respect elders, but when you make eye contact with anybody, this is just from my childhood, you say hello. I've gotten, and I'm guilty of this. I'm going to be honest with you. I've gotten to the point now. I'm so sick of saying hello to people and they're not saying anything or looking at me all crazy that I have this thing now. I'm like, they don't say anything to me. I'm not going to say anything to them. And I'm ashamed to say that, but that's because I'm always saying, hey, how you doing? Good morning. And you just don't feel that. It's so different. And I think
You,
if I had small kids, honestly, I'd probably homeschool them. And I work in the schools.
Mhm.
But I wouldn't send my kids to public schools. If I
No,
had small, I would not. I would
no.
not. I'd have to figure out some way to homeschool them because I don't see the positivity or I don't see the benefits or the advantages of sending them to a public school. I don't. And I
I'm
work in
with
the schools. That's where I make my living, but I would not send my children to public schools. I don't know if private schools are any better. They got their own problems, but I
yeah.
definitely wouldn't send my kids to public schools. So thank you for that. So it's not just us,
you.
it's a
Right.
world
Okay,
thing. Huh? Yeah,
okay.
it's something
Just
happening within the world.
let me raise this to Kerry. How
Yes.
can we get this to our topic for today? How does it resonate with our topic? Because I think it's also a very big thing, an important thing. How
Yeah.
can we relate this with presence?
Yeah. Like I said before, I think you jumped on, is that if we aren't present to what is going on with our children,
Hmm.
our future is not going to be good.
Right.
Our kids aren't going to be responsible. They're going to be acting out of emotions constantly. They're going to be living distracted and lazy. I mean, just blatant. Uh,
Hmm.
so we really have to hone in on being present to what is going on, and not only in the school system now, but in our whole world and how from cell phones to iPads to to movies that are being made, to the music they listen to the people that they are exposed to, etc., how
Yeah.
that affects them and impacts them in their future. Now, we want to stay present, but we have to be so present that we don't have to worry about the future
Mhm.
because we know that we're taking care of it in this time, in this day and age, right
Yeah.
here, right now. So
Yeah.
you're going to raise good kids. And I'm going to just brag on my children because they are responsible. They
Mhm.
are curious and they do get out and they try to see the bigger picture in life and they live from a more purposeful place. They're still distracted. I'm distracted by my cell phone and all that. But if they were younger, they would not be in public schools.
Mhm.
I know that.
Mhm.
And I'm very proud of the way that my son and daughter-in-law are raising my grandson. And we got
Mhm.
another one on the way, um, because they don't just shove an iPad
Right.
in front of his face. You know, if they go to a restaurant, he sits there and he eats and, you know, he climbs and he does all the things that kids do. He's two, you know,
Mhm.
but they could just slam a phone or an iPad down in front of him
Yep.
and distract him.
Yeah.
And when you distract a child, he's not going to learn something.
Mhm.
By
So,
the way, you know what? When you talk about the iPad thing,
uh,
I had a conversation last year. I had a conversation last year with a commissioner from one of the districts in the eastern Uganda. We were heading to Kampala. Are you guys getting me?
yes.
Yeah.
So we were heading to Kampala. We're having a conversation. There was a kid who was really crying bitter in the van where we were riding from, where we're traveling from. And the kid was really bitter, crying on the entire journey. Then we
Mhm.
started discussing just some cheap talk about what might be the cause. But then we came to realize that some of these kids that are exposed to electronic gadgets, let's say iPads and smartphones when they are really young to play with, they get this problem. And it was not my first time to talk about this with a person, like with a mother. I remember she was a parent, she was a commissioner. We were
Mhm.
heading to the city. We had a wonderful conversation about it. Okay, we might relate it to places about the benefits of a kid not interacting with this gadget fully. It's not bad to play with it, but then if you have other things, there is a way to tampers with the creativity of a kid and the mind growth. You're not allowing this kid to associate with nature, with the surrounding.
Mhm.
You know, they are going to miss out on many things. You're allowing another thing to dictate your child's mind. Yet at that stage, the mind is just growing.
Exactly.
It is endless. Its power is endless. So you find that such kids have some mental problems, and
Mhm.
those are the individuals whom you are going to see when they grow up having anger issues, being bitter, people who cannot be patient in a meeting, who cannot be creative, you know.
Yeah.
So whenever we're present, there is a way it shapes us to be better individuals. It shapes the kid, especially presence. I think this is a conversation we should take. Even you were right to discuss about the kid early on when I jumped in, Jeffrey. I think it must be from the childhood. We raise these people, we raise these kids when they are present
Yeah.
in the world, able to
Mhm.
read patterns, able to read energy, you know.
Yeah.
Whenever they are able to read the energy of another person, not just from movies or games they are seeing on their iPads or tablets, they will be able to
You're right.
interact with others, you know, to resonate, to have empathy. But I don't believe that someone or a kid, a child who has grown up being exposed to such gadgets, having little resonance to the frequency of other people, to the energy of other people. I don't know whether I will be able to articulate already patterns, but okay, patterns of anger, patterns of happiness or joy, of need, you get. And these are things that make us human.
Yes. Connection, just
Hmm.
interaction. Yeah.
Yeah.
With nature and all it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I work at a I also my second job is I work at a group home with autistic and men, but they're adults from 19 or so to 60 or whatever. But I've noticed some of them they're on their computers all the time. And when they have to go out in society, they have no idea. They just they ham up. They like go like a turtle. They like go into a shell because they cannot. It's sad to see, but we
Yeah.
try to make them as independent as we can. But a couple of them, when they go out in public, they like do the turtle thing. They go back and they go into a shell because they cannot uh, deal with interaction, real interaction. They're used to playing games or playing, war games. They'll do that all evening. They have chores and they have eating, they have to take meds and blah blah blah. But their free time is all about that machine. So they have no, and I'm looking at them saying, well, yeah, they have other challenges, but the kids I work with in the schools, that's going to be them in 20 years.
Yeah. It's
And
an addiction.
it is. It is. I don't know how we combat that. I don't know how we combat that. But
Well, if I may go back to the whole fear topic,
mm-hmm.
um, and I'm not saying everybody who creates a device has this agenda in mind,
Mm-hmm.
but our world is about keeping us distracted.
There's
Everything is designed to keep us distracted.
no doubt about it.
So, because if we were connected to nature, if we were connected to ourselves, our spirituality, our
Mm-hmm.
emotions, our mentality, and with each other physically,
Mm-hmm.
then we don't need politicians and we don't need, I don't know, maybe the church or the school or whatever to tell us how to dress and how to act and who to be mad at and who to be scared of and all that.
Yep.
And again, when we bring ourselves back into the present and we have somebody hold the door for us
Mm-hmm.
and we have gratitude for that, no matter how different they are from us physically,
Yeah.
then that reminds us that we are all human and we all have that basis of humanity and connection and needs. And all those distractions are just that.
Yeah.
Now, is there some truth to any of the 10 million things that we're distracted by? Races, uh, phobias, all these things? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But in my personal opinion, those things are probably a minute percentage that
Mm-hmm.
get exacerbated to keep us full of fear, full of
Yeah.
distractions, full of
Body.
disconnection.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And so everything comes back to if you want to heal, we have to come back to being present and remembering that we are safe and we have choices and we have people around us that love us and need us. And yeah, and we are all way more alike than different.
Exactly. And if you don't have people around you that love you, the universe will find people that will love you. So
Yeah.
eventually that will happen. Even if you're not in that if you're present and you're looking for, the universe will send that to you too. There was this little kid, and I thought it was so touching. They asked him, um, because he didn't use any of the gadgets. He was like 10 or 11, so he wasn't a little baby, but 10 or 11 or so. And they asked him, well, why don't I noticed that you don't have, and these are people, I don't know why they were interviewing him. It wasn't his parents, it was somebody else. But anyway, we noticed that you don't have a gadget. You don't have a phone and blah, 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 blah. And they said, why? Most kids your age have it. And he just looks at the camera, just as calm, because I have good parents. That's all he said. And they said, "What do you mean by that?" And the mother, I think the mother started crying or something. It like brought tears to her eye because she's not expecting him to say that. She's
Yeah.
not. It wasn't choreographed. He said, "I have good parents, and my parents, they keep me active with stuff. I don't need these gadgets. Bad parents have to give those things to kids, but
Yeah.
I have good parents, so they didn't have to give me that thing. They give me activities, and I thought that was so profound coming from a 12-year-old. I'm like,
Yeah.
wow, where do they make got kids like him? Wow, I need to go to a school where a bunch of him are there. But it was
Right?
so beautiful to hear him say that, hear it come out of a child's mouth. Like, no, they give me activities. They don't give me gadgets.
Yeah. Well,
So,
his parents were present with him, right? I mean,
yeah, yeah,
like they
yeah.
they had their
It's a beautiful
massaging and creating that connection that is so lacking in our world
yeah.
today.
And when you're present with your kids will just be a blessing.
Yeah.
Maybe parents don't understand that if you're present with your kid, they're going to make you so proud. They're going to make you so happy. They're not going to forget about you. They're not going to throw you into a convalescent home. They're going to be, because they're going to take in what you've given them and it's going to turn them into these beautiful, beautiful human beings. It really is. When you take that time with them,
Yeah.
it comes back to you as a parent, I think.
Yeah. Well, in my generation, having kids like Zachary's probably on the very beginning of it, like his age. He'll be 26
Hmm.
in January, but we're the first generation to have our kids have that available to them.
Hmm.
And we didn't know what we didn't know at the time, right? We're
Hmm.
like, oh, well, they're going to learn computer skills and they're going to learn this.
Yeah.
And we didn't know that could become an addiction. And
Yeah.
we didn't know what social media would become. It's more of about comparison and all the negativity that gets shared there. And I think we're finally becoming aware and hopefully it'll take a turn.
Yeah. I hope so.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, I've just got something. There was something I thought about when Kelly was talking.
Uh-huh.
It's about being absent. Remember, the opposite of presence is absent. You
Say it
know
again.
what's happening now? What's happening right now?
Yeah.
Jeffrey, you get me?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I didn't hear what you said when you first chimed in.
What I've just thought about right now, it's about being absent.
Mm, okay.
The opposite of present. What
Mm,
happens when we're present, especially to the parents? What we're seeing right now is the parents are being absent. In which way?
Absent. Yeah.
When social media, modernization, the digital world, and all this transformation that has been happening in the world, when it came up,
mm,
all these great innovations, they came to simplify life,
mm,
not to tarnish life or destroy life.
mm,
So what masses were not told was the sense of responsibility. And since way back, the human race fears responsibility. Responsibility has been the only thing that has been keeping us in check, shaping us to be the great people we are today, or the great race we are today. So when these great innovations came and they provided a hand of taking away, simplifying
mm,
life, now the parents were like, oh, thank you very much. You know what? We
Mm.
have been all along looking for it to run from responsibility.
mm,
So if I'm having a tablet, it can help me escape parenting and also get some time to go out and party, to go out and do my own stuff, or to
mhm,
sit and also do other distracting things. You know, back then, a parent would attend to a kid at least
right.
all day, even if they are not with a kid, they are trying to check in with a kid time to time. Uh, Homework was done with the kid, but now we're having AI.
Yeah.
AI is AI is AI is you'll find that AI is directing the kid on how to answer.
Yeah.
At least there is something to distract or to distract these kids so that they don't disturb the parent, and the parent is not concerned about the future as long as they are not responsible at all.
Yeah.
Even I was looking at these automatic, automatic curtains that pull themselves. You have ever seen that technology?
Yeah.
Mm,
The humans are reluctant to the extent that they miss out on some of the beautiful moments. I remember when I was reading literature when I was growing up, some of my best scenes was I'm a descriptive writer and I love descriptive writing. So whenever I started reading a novel, I would love to see the ambience, the atmosphere in the room, you know.
mm,
Some of my favorite writers would describe the atmosphere. They would describe how the windows opened and how the lights, these morning rays,
Mm-hmm.
pierced through the window, through the curtains, and they fell onto the bed, giving a very beautiful scene.
Yeah.
Now the human can't even open the curtains, they can't even open the windows. They want technology to do that. Now I'm just showing you, it's not bad. I'm just showing you the sense of
Mm-hmm.
responsibility and how
Yeah.
humans running out from everything that makes life beautiful. Even
Yep.
if it's opening a door, they want something to open for them a door. Now I'm wondering if all the things are taken our mass because we want to be free, because we think we don't want responsibility. Now life is not going to be okay. And this is what we are seeing right now. Some of us, we are seeing that we are going into a very bad route, a different route, which is going to
Mm-hmm.
take out the things that have been making life beautiful. So attending to your kid is not a burden, you know. Even if
Right.
Yeah.
there is responsibility attached to it, is sweet. It's what makes
Mm-hmm.
life beautiful. The stories you are going to make with your kid. I'm always having conversations with Kerry. You see, when we're in the group, it's not only Kerry and you, Jeffrey. You're always telling us
Mm-hmm.
about the stories, your childhood stories, But mostly
Mm-hmm.
Kerry, she's
Yes.
always telling us how she grew up with the dad. And
Mm-hmm.
this is what makes life beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, rest in peace to the dad, but even the memories still live today
Yep.
in the mind of his
Yeah.
daughter.
Mm-hmm.
Now, just look to anyone watching us right now, you who is leaving your kid to the tablet, who is being absent, who is not present in the moment to attend to the life of your children, to the
Mm-hmm.
life you have. What are you going to look at in the future when you're growing old? What will your kids look at and reflect
Yeah.
on on you? Even your society. You are
Very true.
driving through the neighborhood, you're not greeting people. Now you're
Mm-hmm.
just going to go without anyone knowing that you existed.
Yeah.
Yet,
Yep.
when you go back, people have memories. The way life was being lived before all this came up, it
Mm-hmm.
was really beautiful. The other time they were abolishing libraries. Libraries were not just places of content. Libraries were memories. I usually follow the AL, that that Association for Libraries in the US. Uh, they were they were submitting about the threats they're having right now. That soon libraries will be no more because they are being
That's so
replaced by,
sad. Yeah.
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 And
The
the
physical book.
policymakers who want to abolish the policymakers who want to abolish these libraries, they are not present. Yes, they are not present. For them, they are absent. In their minds, they think that libraries were just stores of books, yet they were beyond books. Memories were being kept there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People had experiences in those libraries.
Yeah.
You're right.
It's
A
scary.
library is a storage of memories. That's what all those books represent something. And to put it on a little disc or put it on a, whatever they call them, the audio file, whatever, that loses, it loses something. Even the libraries aren't like you used to go to the library back in the day
The
and people,
smell of the book.
yeah, the smell of the books. You go to the library back in the day and they'd be like, shh, be quiet. We're trying to, now you go and it's like it's a playground, kids running all through it and loud and stuff. It's totally different. It's just the respect for it. But man, I think I told you all, I threw away, not threw away. I gave away about 1,000 books. I regret that so much now. I really do. I regret that. I'll never throw another.
Jeffrey, how did you do that?
Yeah, because I thought I was gonna move and all this stuff. So I said, well, I won't need all, I will never do that again because that physical,
Uh,
that physical book may not be around. I tell my kids
yeah.
all the time, when I die, I have a little small library. Don't throw away my books. At least read them. Give them the
Right.
respect of reading them, you know?
Okay, what I'm having in mind to be present, this being present, you know, some of the things, whenever you're present, the people who are absent will think that you're crazy. But
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah.
being present, for example, me, when you ask me, what do you want to see in your home when you build a home? I want to see having a home study where I'll have some mini shelf where I'll put my books, I'll collect my books. I want
Hmm.
my books to live there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
look at them every day as I grow up, as I grow old. to keep memories. I label some of them for my kids who come after me.
Yeah.
If they wonder what made me an interesting person, they can look in those pages and find the wisdom. You
Yep.
Yeah.
see, that's
Yeah.
being present. And being present is being human. That would be my conclusion. Someone can mark that, can know that. Being present is being human.
Yeah.
If
Yes.
you choose to
Definitely.
be present, you are going to miss out on life. You are going to go unnoticed.
Well,
Yeah.
but just think about a physical book, right? We were actually talking about this on the Unbound Press thread that I was following the other day. Is like you have the physical weight of it and the smell of a library. You know, you open an old book and how they smell, or the print, then the just the sound of the page turning, and then the whole like you're hearing the story as you read it.
Mhm.
And if you're like me, if you're reading a fiction, like you make these voices of these characters in your head. So that activates the creativity in your mind. And like a physical book does something that, you know,
Yeah.
that screen just does not,
You can do.
doesn't
Yep.
do. Well, we're at about an hour and a half
Oh
here.
boy. Okay, we went a long
I
time.
know, but what a great conversation we're having. And lots of good points and talking about our kids and being present and just that connection. So does anybody have any parting words?
Okay.
I'm just
I,
thankful.
I will
Oh,
jump in. I will jump in.
No, I'm good.
I'm jumping in. Okay. Neil is going in.
No, he said he's
No,
good.
I'm good. Go ahead.
Okay. Nice to see you, Neil. Oh, my closing words will be to everyone watching this, to the parents, the kids. This is not only about the children, it's also to us, everyone who is human, especially the adult people. Being present is beyond life. Being present is life itself. There is no way at the end of this journey you will tell that you lived life when you're not present in it.
Hmm.
And another word I will leave with the people will be, as we are going into a new era of innovations, enormous innovations, we should be careful. It has always been my song. We should be careful on what we let in our lives. There are
Hmm.
many choices, many options, but the choice is yours on those very many options. You can choose to have curtains you raise by your hand, even if you have money to get the automatic ones, as long as it makes meaning to you. But it's also good to have them. So, and the change we want, the transformation we want begins with us, already adult people. It begins with us as we're looking at the kids, because the kids are the young generation that are going to inherit whatever we are putting out there. If we are putting out an irresponsible generation, trust me, everything that's going to come after that is going to be responsible. I want to wish you peace. Thank you for always following up the conversation. We invite everyone to come and join
Thank you,
us.
Jimmy.
yeah.
Zachary, you have any parting words?
Uh, I appreciate everybody coming today, and I think we had a good conversation. And we only solve problems by talking them out and finding solutions. So, again, thanks for inviting me, and I look forward to the next one.
Thank you, babe. Jeffrey?
Yeah, I just want to piggyback off of what Jimmy said. Yeah, we have to be present, and yeah, and yeah, this was a great conversation, and I'm glad it went to where it went because and that concern about the kids because that really concerns me. Um, and we have to be present. We really have to be present. They don't need things. They need time and they need interaction, not things. We have enough things.
Yeah.
We have to offset that some. Yeah, things are going to be there all the way, always, but we have to offset it with time and interaction with our kids and with each other and with each other. Let's not get to the point where we don't know how to deal with each other. Um, we base our knowledge of each other on what we see on a screen. And that's not, you're not meeting a person when you're looking at a screen. That's all made up stuff. Somebody put that through their mind and put it on the television or the movie, and that's
Yeah,
fine. But that's not a real person. You have to interact with a real person to know what that person is about. And I think we're
life
getting away
is
from that.
beautiful.
So, yeah.
Yep. Yeah. Well, my
Oh,
my parting thought is activate all your senses. Every time, like remind yourself to acknowledge what you're seeing, acknowledge what you're hearing, what you're smelling, what you're tasting, and how you're feeling, because we all give off that energy. And I think about the time I spent with my dad and the time I'm spending with my mom right now, and just those things will end one day.
Mhm.
And we want to remind ourselves that we have to take it all in while we're here.
Yeah.
And if we're more concerned about what's going on our screens and not what's going on presently in our life, um, we're going to miss out.
Yep. And we lose.
Yeah,
No, that's not a win situation.
we lose. So go out, be present, activate all your senses, love the people you are with intentionally, and yeah, go love yourself as always.
all right.
All right. Happy holidays, everybody. Happy New Year.
Hey, take care.
Good day.
It'll be even more powerful. So thank you all for coming
Okay.
out. All right. See you all
Thank
Take care.
you.
here.
Bye.
Next year. All right. Take care, everybody.
Bye.
All right. Take care.
Bye bye.